Hi, everyone. Welcome. Hi to another wonderful episode of Margaux with Margaux. How's everyone doing? Oh, that's great. I'm doing this little bit of fix up because I just see myself again sitting down. And I hate to say this, you guys, but I think I'm a little vain because I really do want to look as great as I can. But welcome. Hi. Yay. So today is Tuesday, April 14th. We made it. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get my glass of wine. Do you guys have something great to drink? Do you have a soda, some water, some good stuff to drink? We're just going to do a little quick toast. This is my favorite glass, one of six, or excuse me, one of eight, and it's one of my favorite glasses. But want to do a toast. Happy Tuesday to you all. Thank you for joining me. Mm, that's so good. That is so, so good. You know what I'm having for dinner tonight? A little bit of lasagna. Oh my God, I love lasagna. Do you guys, anybody like lasagna? Oh my God, it's one of my favorite meals. Doing a little quick checkup on my makeup. It's interesting. I had to sort of relearn how to do makeup since doing this show because I don't do live TV every day of my life. But I started in January, which is actually my 2 month anniversary. I started on January 15th. So tomorrow is actually the episode. Well, thank you for the nice compliments. Always great to hear nice messages for everyone. Well, today is Tuesday. Did you guys get a chance to watch the president update and what he talked about today? Because obviously, talking about reopening the economy, reopening our lives, basically, right? Is really a very important subject because it affects us all, what we do each day, our planning, our goals, our whole life. It was like rug turned, took against us. I don't know if you had a chance to watch. It was really quite interesting. But let's just talk about a little bit before I go into that is the coronavirus update because it appears now this is something you guys can do some research on to try to understand. Apparently, there's a lot more people who have coronavirus that don't know they have coronavirus, right? If you have no symptoms, how would you know you have coronavirus? Which means if there's a lot more people that have coronavirus, the number of deaths compared to the number of people who have coronavirus is quite small. And if if that number is very small, then it means that catching it and actually dying from it is small, correct? Right? If there's not, if everybody, if millions of people have it right now, if you look at the number of deaths, we're right now at 25,000, then it means that relatively only a small number of people who, of course, get coronavirus. And since they know still so little about coronavirus, even though they're telling us updates, the professionals and the experts that we all depend on, they still don't really know. So this is an interesting world that we live in because basically, since we were children, we were told by our parents to always trust people in authority, correct? Trust your teachers, do what your teachers tell you, do what these people tell you, and your life will be okay. But in this particular case, it appears that the information that was provided to the government and to everyone that that we've all been following these guidelines, but started with our federal government to follow these guidelines, perhaps that information wasn't correct. Perhaps the information was a lot of assumptions, a lot of information because they knew so little about it and they still know so little about it. So then the question comes how long can you keep the economy shut down? I'm with the president. I think it's time to reopen the economy. If you think about the people who've passed away, do they really want us to stay here and not go to work and not live our productive lives? If it was your grandparent or your great grandfather, if the danger isn't as bad, would they really want everyone to just stop going to work? I think that's not a healthy way to exist. I mean, human beings, we're very social creatures. We're obviously right. We like being together. But what gives us the most joy is finding an avenue to give back to the world. And the way we give back to the world is through work, finding work that we're passionate about, work that we love, work that gets us excited about getting up every day to go to work, is that we feel that our lives have meaning and is impactful and we have something that we can live. And if we make enough wealth and if we create something wonderful, we can leave for our children. So human beings are designed and have always been designed to give. Is the only purpose for our human existence is to love and to give, and before we get our angel wings. So if you take away your identity, the avenue to find this fulfillment, it will cause all kinds of depression. Correct? Haven't you always been a little bit more excited? We had something to look forward to in life. Isn't that the case? When you have something excited, a project or a person you're going to see, you can't wait. I remember when Christmas, you guys remember Christmas? I literally would not even go to sleep that night. I was so excited about Santa Claus coming, even though my parents, I did find out when I was 5 years old that there was no Santa. Up until 5, I lived that dream. I could not wait. I remember counting the hours, wondering what Santa got me. Even when I got older, I still love Christmas. Even now, even with my husband, I know I'm really old to get that excited about Christmas, I know. But I love family, I love get-togethers, I love Christmas, I love the whole thing, and I get really excited about anticipating what's going to happen. And that's just the way we are. It's what inspired great art. It's what's inspired people to write great stories and film. It's what artists paint. They paint because they feel that that is what they're meant to do. And there's a sense of destiny in finding what it is that you love, what you want to do, and what you have to do. So, going back to work is a good thing. So, that's my argument. Now, keep in mind, if depending on what side person that you want, if you are a Democrat or Republican or independent, it's good to get all sides of any kind of argument, right? Hear the good side, the pros and cons on both sides. That way you can make a good decision for yourself and your family. And that's why it's important to really read a lot of different information, get a lot of different news sources from different angles. I also read newspapers outside the US that talk about the US news, because sometimes the US news can be quite biased. So I get more of a better fact based information if I look at other outlets as well. And that way you can make a good decision for your life. So my opinion is yes, I'm happy we're going back to work. How we're going to do it, how it's going to be done safely, with less cause of people getting sick is another discussion, but this is what I'm excited about. I'm really happy. I love work. I love doing lots of things. So I'm leaning toward let's get back to work. Now, did you watch the the president's update today? Now, what I thought was interesting, he didn't bring up any of the medical professionals there this time. Dr. Deborah Burrs and also Dr. Fauci did not come up, and neither did the vice president. The president just talked about the new council that he's creating. And lots of leaders from different industries to give him the input and the insight that he needs to decide how he should go about getting this economy going. And if you have an economy the way it was before coronavirus, you know he's really motivated to bring it back. He says bigger and better. And I encourage that because I think having a great economy is good for all of us. We all have things to do, great opportunities, great jobs, is healthy for our country. So I applaud that. Another good thing that came about today was the discussion about the World Health Organization. I don't know, did you guys get a chance to hear about the news that he's cutting off the funding? When I was reading about the World Health Organization about 3 weeks ago and was reading some of the reports that the information wasn't good, when he tweeted that or talked about it probably about last week, I just thought it was a smart move because literally, if you're paying for a service, for instance, if you're paying for someone to um, mow your lawn, correct? And the person who mows your lawn, you're giving them a monthly fee every month, but all of a sudden you notice the lawn isn't mowed as much as it used to be. Should you continue paying the lawnmower? Should you continue to pay? No, you don't pay for something that's not good service. And the reason you don't pay because you are valuable, your money is valuable, you just don't pay, right? If someone does a bad job, whether it's your doctor, whether it's the service you get at your grocery store, whether it's someone mowing your lawn, whether it's someone cutting your hair, if they don't give you good service, you don't do business with them. You reward good service. And if it's bad service, you cut it out. I truly admire the president for doing this. For one thing, it's a strong statement. Now, They still need to figure out, obviously, what went wrong and who's responsible for what went wrong. And there's a whole big thing that's going to come out. I guess they're going to do a whole study on that will eventually come out and explain it. Now, the other argument against this, which is something I looked at because you really want to look at both sides of the issue. People said, well, why is he cutting off funding in the middle of a pandemic? People will die. Well, I think the money that we've already given at this point is already there, and if you're sick in the hospital, I don't see the how the two points line up. Correct? If he cut off the money today, how will that stop someone from dying tomorrow? I just don't see the relationship. Um, Now, keep in mind, there's a lot of smaller countries in the world that depend on the World Health Organization. I think they're going to be okay. I think this is a strong move by a president who's stating, look, this organization gave me bad information. I trusted it and I made decisions based on it. He has a right to do that. It's our money, the taxpayers' money. So I applaud him for doing so. My hero of the day is the president. Now, if you disagree with me, you feel that the president didn't do a great job. He's absolutely horrific and horrible human being that's destroying our country and destroying and killing people. I feel for you because I don't think that's the truth. Now, I appreciate your opinion because I have people, friends, and family who have different opinions. But this is just my simple opinion about that whole matter. I applaud him. I think if someone gives you bad service, you don't get to. You don't reward bad behavior. Do you reward bad behavior? If someone treats you bad, do you allow them to keep treating you bad? No. You stand up for yourself. If you have a job and a boss that treats you bad, you don't put up with it. You fight back. You don't put up with it. Now, people are going to have the argument stating, well, Margaux, you have it easier than me. It's not so easy for me to speak out. Perhaps you need to figure out a new career. Perhaps you need to figure out a new situation that's better. I truly believe that God is here with us and is our guiding energy and force. And I truly believe in prayer. So pray and look for a better way. There are better ways in life. You can't sometimes see them because God is running the show. Sometimes you have to do certain things, but have faith, trust that things will work out in there. So that's what I feel about the World Health Organization. Now, apparently, he talked about today 20 plus states will open up. Apparently, I guess the states who have the least amount of death and what their circumstances are, and we'll hear more about it. He did list a lot of people that he's going to talk to about how to do it. And I think that's smart. Maybe more people than I would choose, but I'm not the president, and it's a tough decision. If you can have more opinions than not, why not have more opinions? It's now at the point where if you have the opportunity, you think you have any of the symptoms, I recommend getting tested because if it comes to the point, I'm in California where they're stating, well, a certain amount of people can only do this and this if they have been tested, then you're prepared if you have any symptoms. I don't have any symptoms. About 2 weeks ago, I was getting a little bit of sick, but thank God that worked out okay. But if you're feeling of the symptoms, it's good to get tested. I also state make your own mask is a lot easier than buying a lot of masks. And you can wash them. That's what I've done. So that's an idea to do. In California, we're required to, or in LA County, we're required to wear a mask. So wear a mask and do what you need to do. Hydrochloroquine is still being discussed. When I Googled it, now a couple people told me that they've used hydrochloroquine and it was successful with him. Personally, I know. But when I Googled it, it just talked about all the bad reasons not to use it. I think it's something you should still consider. I don't know your situation or where you are. If you do get sick or anyone in your family, it's worth talking about at least. Doing something is always better than doing nothing. They're hoping for a vaccination. It was always reported a year. Now it's 6 months. And also be careful with the germs, and social distancing are a few of the things they're doing. So another thing I want to talk about too is really understanding where you're getting your information from. The reason why is everybody has an agenda. Every source has an agenda. Now, is that agenda helpful to you? I don't know. That's why you have to question what you read and where you get your information from. Get a lot of different information. You usually can feel where the truth is and use your own instincts and your own gut feeling to determine what is the best way to go, correct? I'm in business, and when I listen to people, especially people in business, I have to make really quick decisions sometimes. And you have to always know that when someone talks to me and they give me their story, I have to evaluate if that story is a real story. Does that make sense? Is that real or not? Because I have to make a really good decision, correct? You have to somehow listen to your instincts, and you really have to understand the story that people tell you isn't necessarily the truth. It's just the way we are. We're programmed for our own personal survival, and so we're going to switch things around. And so you have to really understand and listen to someone and draw from that where the truth is and where it may lie. So that way you can make really good decisions. Um, I'm also just give you a quick example. Sometimes people want me to invest in businesses or whatever they're doing. And I really have to ask myself really tough questions. I look at the individual and I ask myself, if I were to give this person $50, will this person really give me back $55? Do I trust them? I have always asked that question. And trust is a really big thing because if you listen to your inner voice, whether it's the mechanic fixing your car, whether you should invest in something, whether you're looking for someone to manage your money, whether you're looking for someone, an employer to work for, you should always question your employer. In fact, I recommend telling them that, and they give you an opportunity. You say, "Well, I'm still looking at other options." This is your life, this is your time, this is your energy. Find the best employer to work for. Not every employer is the same. Not everybody's the same. So always explore your options, know your value, know who you are, do your research, know how much money this position is going to pay you. Always ask for more, always leave room for negotiation. Now, if you're a female, I recommend finding out and adding more. I think you should shock them. That's just my personal opinion because they typically like to put women in one category, especially if it's male and they kind of have this attitude, and you got to snap them out of it, correct? So be smarter than they are. And if they do, you just have to call people out on their BS. That's just my personal opinion. You do it in a nice way, not in a rude, abrupt, but in a very kind and thoughtful way. You gently put people in their place and you draw boundaries on certain behavior. So I applaud the president. His goal is to reopen the country. That's really, really good. I'm excited about those opportunities and what may come my way. I talked a little bit about mental health last week, and I got some really good response. People really like that information. It's important to take control of your own mind and your own thoughts. You have to understand that the way your mind works. For instance, you're born, people give you information. You start to form your opinion, correct? Now, if that information is faulty, or it's negative, or it's destructive, or the environment was poisoned when you were growing up in, you start to become part of that information. You become part of that environment. That's why it's very important to understand what your background is and see if that is an obstacle for helping you to get further in your life. Maybe there's some issues that you haven't addressed in the past. Perhaps there's anger and pain you haven't gotten through. You have to understand, you have to live in the moment. The only moment you have in this existence is now. Today, now, be present and get in touch with that energy, that pure energy force that is in front of you, that's a part of you that God has given you. So find it through prayer and meditation. Yoga is a really another wonderful thing to do. And find who you are, where you are inside as an individual. And then you'll have a better understanding what path you need to take or where it is you need to do to help and serve other people. Because ultimately, that's why we're here to exist, is to help other people. Some more information about coronavirus, go to coronavirus.gov, which is a really, really great website to go to. If you want to learn a little bit about investing, I recommend reading a lot of different books. I'll talk about investing and different books to read, and you have to form your own opinion. Investing, if it was easy, everybody would be rich and everybody would know what to do. So you have to take it upon yourself to do the research and understand how investing works and what you need to do. There are 4 books that I recommended, or 5 books that I'm now giving away. It's a free ebook. You can email my assistant, GraysonKWhite@gmail.com. It's Think and Grow Rich, Power of Positive Thinking, A Man Thinketh, Power of Your Subconscious Mind, and A Road Less Traveled. So those are the 5 books. Email GraysonKWhite@gmail.com. You have until Saturday. Yes, Saturday, April 18th. And if you email me, go ahead and do that, and we will send you the books. Okay, another good thing that I eventually will discuss at a later date, we're going to talk about wine. I love wine, if you haven't noticed. That's why the show is called Margaux with Margaux. Love it. Mm. Mm. We're also going to talk about business, what to look for, how to make, how to work on making better decisions. How do you do that? Real estate, startups, really good. Investing, fashion, movies, and just life in general. How do you navigate through this crazy world in a beautiful way, in a way on your terms that makes you happy and live a life that you absolutely deserve and can obtain. It can obtain. It's all based on your thoughts and what you feel. Last week, a few days ago, I spoke about sci-fi movies. I'm still working on my list. I'm going to list some TV shows on Netflix. Netflix is so wonderful. I hate to say this, but I love Netflix. Here are some television shows. Orange is the New Black. Great show. About a true story, based on a true story, a woman who goes to prison for selling drugs for 2 years, and she comes from an affluent family, and she goes into prison system. And the book and the show did extremely well because sort of exposed the inequities of women in prison, which I think is really another important issue that we're going to continue to discuss, and how our system works and how unfair it is on many levels. And so Orange is the New Black, House of Cards, another great TV series. It was Kevin Spacey starred in it. It was based on a British television show. Very well done. Love the show. If you really want to know how dirty politics can get, watch House of Cards. Oh my God. Another show, I'm obsessed a little bit about the royal. I'm really obsessed with the royal family. I always love the royal family. The Crown. Watch The Crown. It's on Netflix. It's in its third season? Third season. Olivia Colman plays the queen. She does an extremely, really well done job. She won an Oscar just a year ago. Very good show. Watch The Crown. Not too excited about Meghan and Harry leaving. I love them. I think they're great people, but that's a whole nother discussion. Well, maybe we'll talk about that at a later date. It's a little gossipy, but I may throw my opinion on that. Another great show is Ozark. Did you guys see Ozark? Oh my God, it's in its 3rd season. My sister, I recommend her seeing it last year. She streamed 2 seasons within like 10 days. 2 seasons, 10 days. Great show. It's in the 3rd season. Another show that I don't think most people know about or heard about, it's called The Money Heist, unless you're on Netflix. Money Heist is a Spanish show. Now, what I love about European shows, and I don't know if you can agree and disagree with me on this, that you get used to watching American television. And when you get used to it, you sort of have an idea how things are going to go. And that's why I love foreign films, foreign TV shows, because they take you on a unique journey you didn't even know you needed to be on. It goes in ways that you had no idea about. This show sounds kind of corny, the title, Money Heist. Very well done. Goes in places I didn't expect. If you really want to see a great show, it is dubbed. I don't mind dubbing if the acting is good, and this show is really good. So those are the 5 shows to watch on Netflix now. If you haven't already, they're some of the best. Orange is the New Black. Loved it. House of Cards. Oh my God. Brilliant, especially in this political landscape. Crown, if you like the royal family. Love. I have someone close to me who knows the royal family, and they have given me so much juicy gossip. It's unbelievable. But anyway, I can never talk about it publicly. But I like the royal family. It's really interesting. And then there's Ozark. Great show about a family to get caught up in the mob. Oh my God, Mexican mob. That's a heavy one. Money Heist is obviously about a heist. I am going to start to talk about some of the programs and shows that I'm currently producing and working on, and we'll be able to talk about those at a later date. We're just getting warmed up. I think I'm going to slowly move away from the coronavirus talk. I'm just going to talk about more positive things on the assumption our economy is going to be up and running, and we're going to do extremely well together. And I want you to continue to follow me. Oh, wait, if you haven't followed me, I'm on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm everywhere. So you can always follow me if you like. And if you have questions, email my assistant too. I'm also going to do other shows with other people, but I really wanted to do a show that was honest, that was brutally honest about the realization of what life is. One of the things I think is really important is that there's a great quote that my husband told me about years ago, and the quote really stayed with me. It was titled the following: "Love many, trust a few, learn to paddle your own canoe." Love many, which I'm loving you guys. Hi. Trust a few, learn to paddle your own canoe. You have to find your own way in life, and you have to learn how to paddle it, how to move through life. God is giving you great tools at your disposal. We live in a wonderful country where things can happen here. If you try and work hard enough, your dreams can come true. So there's a lot of good here. And there's a lot of good that we're going to continue to share and get to know each other over time. I am going to talk about the best business books to read, startups, and all kinds of great stuff. And if you want to connect with me, you can. Now, if you're watching me on Periscope replay, hi, thank you for watching me on replay. Very sweet of you. If you want to watch me on YouTube, yes, I launched YouTube last week. I'm posting it every day on YouTube. So if you like what I'm saying, subscribe, make a comment. I guarantee you comment back. If you want to know more about me, I'll start to talk a little bit more about myself and my background and what I'm doing. I am looking for disruptive technology to invest in. So if you have disruptive technology that can change millions of people's lives, please send me an email, graceak@gmail.com. These are the 4 questions I'm going to ask you to answer right away. So if you do contact me, this is one of the first questions. 1, what is the technology? 2, how much money do you need? 3, what's the return on investment? Very important. How long will you need the money for? Quote, and how much money will I make, and what are you doing? So, and what's your background and what you're doing and how long you've been doing it. So if you put your own money into this investment, I have a better feeling about it opposed to someone who hasn't put their own money in, because when you put your own money in, you really are serious, and this is a business that you really want to make successful. So I have a lot of great contacts and some great information in that area we'll continue to talk about. I just want to say thank you guys for joining me. Keep an open mind, always learn and grow. You're destined to do something great if you so choose. If you don't, and be a wonderful parent and daughter or whatever the case, that's a beautiful life in itself. No one's to tell you how to live your life. Well, you live your life on your terms, in your reality and what you want. God bless you for tuning in tonight. Happy Tuesday to you. I'm about to go off and eat my lasagna, so I'm excited about. Oh, God, I love lasagna. Isn't lasagna great? I start out with a small amount and eat a lot more. But I enjoy seeing you this evening. Thank you for joining me. And I will see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, Monday through Friday. And I upload it on YouTube later. So continue to understand and question your reality. Question things. Don't just accept things as they are. Get to the core of where truth lies, and you can make some better decisions in your life. God bless. Take care.